I'm Jeff Klein. I work for the U.S. Forest Service. I'm a researcher. I've been in Corvallis for 22 years, have a partner for 32 years, and a 16-year-old son. When I was a young kid, my father was going to graduate school at the University of Massachusetts, and we lived in Amherst, Massachusetts, which is a town still like then and still very much like Corvallis. I lived next to the schoolyard, and when I was 8 years old, I was playing in the schoolyard, and eventually some of the kids that I was playing with all kind of drifted home. And there was an older teenager that had walked through the schoolyard, and I was familiar with this teenager, but I wasn't really a friend of him or anything. Kind of saying, hey, I got something to show you. And he lured me a couple blocks away to a cemetery, and he placed me in a fenced-in family plot so that he couldn't run away. And then he ordered me to pull down my pants, and he fondled me for quite a while and wanted me to fondle him. He eventually gave up, maybe after 20 minutes or something, and let me go. And I ran the 2 blocks home to my house, and my father saw me in the driveway, and he saw I was distressed. And because I always remember the exact words. He said, "Are you all right?" And I just looked at him and turned my head, yeah, and I ran inside the house, and that was the extent of what I ever told my parents about it. And it wasn't something that I even shared with anybody until about 5 years ago. One of the effects that you find, I think almost in any, well, I should just talk about myself, but almost in any sexual abuse survivor, one of the main effects is the loss of voice. I had told my partner about what had happened, and so I started working with a trauma therapist, and realized that a lot of the struggles I've had in life, struggles that I recognized that maybe others didn't recognize, was that I didn't often advocate for myself, and I didn't. Sometimes I would be in situations where I didn't feel like I had choices, whether that was advocating for myself or having choices when I was dealing with family members, or especially my partner, or also in the workforce. Just so things would build up inside me where things would start to bother me, and I would hold them in, and then sometimes I would explode, and never violently for me. I would just kind of explode in this explosion of emotion and stuff, and so that would happen, and employers would recognize me as someone that was sensitive, and it caused stress with my partner because sometimes there'd be difficulties in our relationship, and I would just kind of hold them in, and sometimes feel trapped in situations where I wasn't advocating for myself or standing up for myself to my partner. So speaking out for me, finally after 5 years ago, was very much part of the therapy I was going through at the time, to try to extract myself from this kind of lifetime of despair. Child sexual abuse is prevalent in all income levels, all demographic levels, all communities. If we can provide support to kids who have had these experiences a lot earlier, hopefully before they're 52 years old, I think we can have a lot happier community. The work of the ABC House is really important by allowing kids to come in and have an opportunity to talk about their experiences, to get the support that they need, to understand that it's not their fault. I don't know where else you can get these services. And I just think by serving kids today, we're building a stronger set of adults in the future and a stronger community in the future.